So it's really about the kids, okay? Intact marriages, certainly separated and divorced couples where it's hard enough to reach agreements. If we put the children first, and in doing so, those of you who are listening should recognize that New Jersey has what we call the Children's Bill of Rights. These are rights that are afforded to every child in the state of New Jersey who's involved in a marriage or a couple, they don't have to be married, who's separated and or divorced. Those children have certain rights. And it's important for you folks to understand that. We have them posted. There's a link here on the website. But generally speaking, it's the rights are about not using the children as communicators between the two parties. Certainly not asking the children questions about what happened at the other party's house and inquiring as to the new boyfriend, girlfriend, and things of that nature. It's not using the children as pawns in an economic ploy you might have. These might seem obvious, but when you look at the Children's Bill of Rights and you look at them all collectively together, I think it is a very good way for those parents who are going through a separation and divorce to recognize things hopefully you already do, but that if either of you need help with doing those things, maybe that's the time to involve a third-party therapist and think in terms of getting help with not violating the Children's Bill of Rights. Understanding you must co-parent, communicate not with the children about what you think Johnny wants or Jamie wants, but first with mom or dad to make those joint decisions so that we're not battling, we're not having triangulation, which is a very common thing in divorce with children. Children do not accordingly need to be victims of divorce when their parents recognize there is a healthy child way to divorce grounded upon empathy, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Parents are accordingly well advised to recognize their commonality of interest regarding their children. And when they reach that recognition, they can then move forward with comprehensive agreements concerning custody, parenting time issues, including provisions regarding the educational, medical, religious, and social needs of their children prior to separation and or divorce. Parents should accordingly utilize the services of mental health professionals, teachers, guidance counselors, and any other third parties available to provide services for themselves and their children to ameliorate any disagreements, any animosity, and or counterproductive actions and or omissions regarding their children before they separate and or divorce. I understand it's way easier to say than to do, but the concepts are work that out first. The finances will then fall into place. The sooner and more effectively these issues are addressed, the easier it is to work out the other issues. So not only do the child-centered issues, are they the most important for the rest of everyone's life together and your family, but by resolving them and focusing on the emotionally intelligent way to resolve those issues up front, the economics become much easier because we have a child-centered approach. So, first and foremost, empathy. Empathy is not pity. Empathy is not one parent feeling sorry for the other parent or feeling that they have to assist or understand the other parent, so like in a way that's I'm better. It's walking in the moccasins of the other parent. It's understanding that you're an imperfect parent and that you have issues with parenting. That imperfect human has issues with parenting. And if you're going to have a child-centered divorce and separation for the benefit of your children, you will recognize you're not better, worse, or anything else. You're both imperfect parents who need to exercise empathy for one another, help one another with your weaknesses and strengths, and collaboratively parent, even though you may not like each other. Newsflash, there are no perfect parents. And by collaboratively working together, you can get detailed parenting agreements so you're not fighting with each other later on. Nobody wins a custody fight. Nobody wins when there is a custody fight. Our law presumes that children are best served by having equal, continuing, and predictable parenting time with both parents, and further presumes that all parents are, quote, fit to parent, end quote, unless there's been a concrete act or omission in the past that has actually harmed the children or child. Absent same, recognizing that all parents are fit, we should employ empathy when we're dealing with the weaknesses of the other parent. That's what's best for your children. Employ that empathy, which then will lead into forgiveness, which all go to the unconditional love you have for your children, which all go toward a healthy child-centered divorce. So we're going to pick up on forgiveness in our next talk.